Unit 9. Complaints, Complaints. Unit 9. Pages 74 and 75. Look and listen. Consumer complaints.
Housing, landlords, and realtors.
The walls are filthy. They need to be repainted.
Don't worry, we'll get it done.
Leaky pipes. Dripping faucet. Broken window pane. Broken doorknob. Loose floorboards. Car repairs and car dealers.
The engine makes a strange noise. It was in for repairs just last week.
We'll have it checked.
Flat tire. Cracked windshield. Dead battery. Dents in body. Clothing.
This sleeve is torn.
I'll have it sewn.
No, I want a new jacket or a refund.
Stain. Hole. Torn. Missing button. Products. This DVD player is damaged. It needs to be repaired.
Do you have a warranty?
Yes, I have a 1-year warranty.
I'll have someone look at it.
Scratched CD. TV isn't working. Air conditioning isn't getting cold. Broken thermostat, can't adjust temperature. Consumer awareness. Know your rights. Are you a wise consumer? Answer yes or no to these questions. The right to choose.
I usually read the information on shelves and the labels on products closely. I compare prices of the same brand in different stores. I'm not influenced by a pushy salesperson.
The right to information.
I read the advertisements to find out which store offers the best prices. I read and compare warranties before purchasing.
The right to safety.
I understand the labels on household products. I read the manuals carefully.
The right to be heard.
I usually return products if I'm not satisfied with them. I write a letter of complaint if the product or service is not what I expect. I always dispute or question an incorrect bill.
The right to consumer education.
I calculate finance charges when I use my credit cards. I don't buy things just because they're on sale. I have a good credit record. I always request and keep my receipts of purchases.
Give yourself a point for each yes. 11 to 14, alert consumer. 6 to 10, you're doing okay. Below 6, you need improvement.
Unit 9, page 75, Part 2. Pair work. A. Do role plays with the problems on page 74.
What's wrong?
There's a broken window pane.
I'll have it fixed right away.
B. Write down 1 or 2 things that show you are a good, bad consumer. Share them with a partner. Unit 9, page 78, Part 5. Listening. Listen to the guest's complaints. Complete the chart with his problems.
What can I do for you, sir?
I'd like to change rooms, please.
And may I ask what is wrong with your room?
The shower isn't working. There's no hot water.
Have you tried taking a bath instead?
The tub needs fixing too. It leaks.
I'll have someone look at that right away, sir.
I'd still like to change rooms if you don't mind. You see, I couldn't get any sleep last night because of my neighbor. He snores so loud that the walls shake.
I'll see what I can do, sir. I'm afraid we don't have another room vacant right now. Anything else?
Can you have the towels and the bed linen changed every day? They haven't been changed since I checked in 3 days ago. I really must complain about the service in this place. This is a 4-star hotel, isn't it?
Oh, no, sir. We don't have any stars at all.
Then why do you have those 4 stars on your neon sign outside?
That's just the name of the hotel, sir. The Southern Cross. You know, it's named for the constellation that has 4 main stars.
Unit 9, page 78, Part 6. Pronunciation. Listen and practice. Each word contains the letter U. Note the different pronunciations.
Consumer. Manual. Dispute. Pushy. Put. Product. Button. Bumper.
Unit 9, page 79, Part 8. Conversation. The latest fashion.
Can I help you, ma'am?
Yes, I'd like to exchange a pair of jeans, baggy with faded colors.
It sounds like one of Kiki's latest creations. She designs loose clothing, and faded clothes are in style this season. You didn't like it?
No, it's not that. It's...
Of course, ma'am. Can you give me the jeans?
You see, they split at the seams, and it happened while I was dancing at a party. I've never felt so embarrassed in my life. Fortunately, my friend had a sweater, and I tied it around my waist.
I'm really sorry, ma'am. That's never happened before. Unfortunately, the jeans in this department are all made by Kiki.
Your ending. What do you think was Margaret's response? 1,
Well, then I want to get the money for the jeans back.
2,
Can I come back next season when the styles change?
3,
Can I get a credit to buy something in another department?
4. Your idea. Unit 9, page 80, Part 10. Reading. The bad luck theory.
You invite your friends over to watch an NBA basketball playoff game on TV. There are plenty of sodas in the refrigerator, the popcorn is popping, and you are all set to watch the big game. You turn on the set, and all you get is a fuzzy image on the screen. Is this plain bad luck, or is it Murphy's Law at work? Murphy's Law states, if anything can go wrong, it will. Similar situations occur all the time. When you're in a hurry to open the door and you try several keys on the key ring, the last one you try is usually the one that works. When you get into a line at the supermarket, you find you've chosen the slowest one and it just doesn't move. Bad luck or coincidence? According to British physicist Robert Matthews, it's neither one nor the other. He explains that our selective memory tends to remember the bad episodes more readily than the things that usually work out, and the law of probability is more against us than in our favor. For example, in the supermarket with 5 cashiers, the chances of getting a fast lane are 20% and 80% for a slow lane. Matthews became a popular scientist when he proved that a piece of toast doesn't necessarily fall on the floor on the buttered side. BBC television gathered 300 people to throw pieces of buttered toast up in the air and observe on which side they fell. Half fell on the buttered side and half didn't. Now, here's a tricky question for Dr. Matthews. It's a known fact that cats always fall on their 4 legs. What happens if you tie a piece of buttered toast on a cat's back and drop them from a balcony? Will the cat land on all 4s, or will the toast land on the buttered side? I sincerely hope the BBC doesn't try this experiment. Just remember that you cannot blame Murphy's Law for everything that goes wrong. If the hot water runs out while you're having a shower, it's probably because the burner needs to be fixed. If your car breaks down on the way to a job interview, it's probably because you didn't have the vehicle serviced or repaired.
Murphy's Law. Captain Edward Murphy was an engineer at Edwards Air Force Base in the U.S. In 1949, he was working on the project of a machine that measured the heartbeat and breathing of pilots. But something was malfunctioning in the equipment due to human error. Murphy blamed the lab technician and said, if there is any way to do it wrong, he will. One small failure can bring a whole project crashing down. In practice, it was a good principle of safety engineering, and it became popular in all areas to explain the failures of everyday things.
End of Unit 9. Expansion 3, pages 82 and 83. Reading. Popular sports.
Soccer. Soccer has been played for thousands of years throughout history by various civilizations. In 2500 BC, the Chinese played a form of the game and called it Tsu-Chu. One story tells of a brave village in England defeating a Roman team and running them out of town in 217 AD. The natives of the Pacific Islands played the game using their hands and feet, and they used coconuts and pig bladders as balls. The Eskimos played soccer on ice and used balls filled with caribou hair and grass. In North America, Indians played on beaches with fields that had enough space for 1,000 players to be playing at the same time, and the match usually lasted for more than one day. The games were so rough that the players often got broken bones. In Mexico and Central America, they invented the rubber ball, and the people played in courts 40 to 50 feet, 12 to 15 meters long, surrounded by vertical walls several feet high. In the middle of each wall there was a stone with a hole in the middle or a wooden ring, and the idea was for players to project the hard rubber ball through the ring. But it was not until 1863 in England that the first set of rules was put together to make the game like it is today. Soccer was spread throughout the world by British sailors and settlers, and all major innovations in the game, such as leagues, professionalism, and international matches, were English.
Basketball. In 1891, Dr. James A. Naismith, a teacher at the YMCA school in Springfield, Massachusetts, in the U.S., was asked to create a game that could be played indoors during the hard winters. Students were tired of staying inside, and they looked forward to any sporting activity. So Naismith put up 2 peach baskets on opposite walls and got his class of 18 students to play a game of basketball. The team that dropped the ball into the basket more times would win. At first, a soccer ball was used, but in 1894, it was decided that the ball should be 81 centimeters around and weigh 500 grams. In spite of all the changes that have taken place since then, the size of the ball has remained the same, but the weight increased to 600 grams. The baskets used in early games had the bottoms in them, and after each goal someone had to climb a ladder in order to get the ball out. In 1906, open baskets were introduced, which allowed the ball to pass through, and as a result the game became faster. In the beginning, no backboards were used either. Therefore, fans sitting in the balcony behind the basket would push away the ball when the opponent was going to score. Also, in the early days, each team was made up of 9 players. It wasn't until 1897 that the 5-player team became official.
Baseball. Baseball originated from cricket and an Old English game called rounders. Children in Boston during colonial times used to play it using 4 bases and a batter's box. One legend said that Abner Doubleday was the person who, in 1839 in Cooperstown, New York, developed the game played on the diamond-shaped field with 4 bases and named the game baseball. Although Doubleday had been given credit for his invention, baseball historians say it was Alexander Cartwright and his friends that devised the new game in 1845. It was called the Knickerbocker game or the New York game, and it differed in several respects from what we now know as baseball. For instance, they caught the ball barehanded, but fortunately the ball was a lot lighter than the one used today. It was slightly larger and very bouncy because it contained a core of Indian rubber. There was no umpire saying whether a pitch was a ball or a strike. The batter could just stand at home plate and wait all day if he had to, until he got a pitch he wanted to swing at. Also, while today a ball has to be caught before it hits the ground in order to be considered an out, a ball caught on the first bounce was considered an out in the Knickerbocker game.